Hey, BrickTsar, Jabbo here. Have you ever wondered if you should get your Lego sets graded? Take a set like this, the Coliseum, SPQR something. Get it graded, and then wouldn't that make the value much more? A nice sealed graded set. Oh, wait a minute. It might not be worth anything. It could just be a two-dimensional set. That's a stupid reason to buy a Lego set right there. So, I've talked about this a lot, and I mentioned it in a previous video, and I did get some comments on it. And I really love some of the comments. One of them from Mardi Gras Man, you need to get that set graded. Wouldn't that be something to talk about? And I've always wanted to talk about graded Lego sets, but the comment that really stood out to me is from Token Bricks, who said, you could call graded sets Schrödinger's Lego. And so if you're not familiar with the thought experiment that Erwin Schrödinger did in 1935, talking to Albert Einstein, trying to explain quantum superposition or something, he had this thought experiment where you imagine that you have a box, and inside the box there is a cat. You do not know if the cat, what the condition of the cat is, but there is a radioactive element or something, a radioactive isotope or whatever, and if it lets out one atom, it will hit the thing that breaks the vase that's inside that has the poison gas and kill the cat. But you don't know until you open the box. Is the cat alive or dead? You can't know until you view. So it goes into the math of quantum superposition and the spooky stuff that goes on with that, but it's just a thought experiment. It's not real. The cat can't be both alive and dead at the same time. But people are still talking about it. Schrödinger's cat, the little thought experiment that he did. I have the third option. The cat is flat. If I can make it flat. There we go. We got a flat cat. All right, so yeah, the cat can't both obviously be alive and dead at the same time, but this comes to the fallacy in the physical world, because things that you can think about and mathematically even prove doesn't mean it can exist in the real world. I saw a recent video talking about how if you had an infinitely long Gabriel's horn, that you could fill it with a gallon or a pie amount of paint, but that you couldn't paint the outside of it. There wouldn't be enough paint to paint the outside. It would require an infinite amount of paint, but you could still fill it on the inside. It's a really weird paradox. And you get a lot of mathematical paradoxes, but those things do not exist in the real world. And so a paradox with Lego, I have noticed, and there's less of these. In fact, I had a hard time finding them, but it is the graded Lego set. I don't understand it. It's not like grading a comic book. It's not like grading a baseball card. When you grade a baseball card, you can see both sides of the card. I can see the value in doing that. I can even see grading a comic book because you can open the comic book and look at each page. But the problem is once they grade them, they put them in those little protective cases that you have to pretty much break to open them if you want to look at it again. I think a lot of times people don't want to look at their valuable comic books. But you can understand it even if you don't really think it's a good idea with like comic books. Baseball cards, I get. But you see people on eBay having graded items. Now, I have seen things like a graded Mr. Gold. Okay, yeah, but who's to say that person is the judge of that? That's the other thing about grading. I'm like, who's the authority? Who's the authority on that? So you have different, like with baseball cards, I think there were different places you could send it off to grade. And I guess the people that are grading, they want to have a good reputation, so they want to do it right. But how can you trust them? So I saw a graded Mr. Gold. I don't know what this means. 80 is AFA graded 80 MN, and the figure is still in the bag. What does this mean? Does that mean it's worth double what you would buy for one or pay for one ungraded? I don't know. It's not even in the bag. I would think a Mr. Gold that was still sealed in the bag, even though you couldn't verify it, would be worth more. But then when you open it, it's not worth as much. And then if you don't open it, you don't know if it's actually in there. You could have one that's all scratched. It could be sealed in the poly bag. You could fill the poly bag and fill all the parts that make up Mr. Gold. But it'd be all scratched up from people filling the poly bag. So, and this is this auction here. This AFA graded 80 NM, one of 5,000 Mr. Gold bag minifigure. No. Other things I've seen graded are like other minifigures. We got a Watto. That's not even the rare Watto. We got a error printed. All right, they're grading errors. Shouldn't that be like, if you had a comic book with an error, that necessarily means it'll be worth more. Like one of the and baseball cards, you want them centered. You want them perfectly centered. You don't want them misprinted. And so apparently Lego that is misprinted is worth more. We have, I used to have that Luke. There's a Luke from 2010. Is that from 2010? It looks like the chrome handle. I don't think, it says it's from set 10212. Oh, I see the face. Okay, yeah, it is. All right, and then there's droids. So, you got things like that. Okay, yeah, you can see it. But a set? Come on. Look at this Paradisa set. Set 6416. AFA 90 graded. This is probably the same guy selling this crap. They got the box all opened and bent. So this one you can kind of see through the window, but you really don't know if the set's complete. So this one, okay, at least you can open it and see without opening it. You know what I mean? Because it's got that clear glass or clear plastic in the front. But what about this? Jabba's Palace, $1,299. AFA 9.0 super rare. Come on, man. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sounding like somebody else. Yeah, it could be Jabba's Palace for all you know once you open it. It's just a little box set. The thing's not worth $1,300. I don't care how rare it is. We got a sealed Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. 8017. What year did that come out? 2009. Does it have brittle bricks in there? I don't think. Let's see. Maybe not. Maybe not brittle. 2009 was a bad year for Lego bricks. Rated 9.5. Guy wants 1,600 Australian. I don't think so. So, yeah, Jabba's Palace. This stuff makes no sense. Oh, it makes no sense. Why are they doing that? Because you can't know. The set is both complete and incomplete at the same time. I know there's at least one of you out there that has bought a Lego set. You've opened it and it's had a bent part, a broken part, a misprinted part, a missing part. Or maybe you just dropped it in the floor and didn't realize you dropped it. That's why they put extras, So, yeah, there's going to be errors, even however rare, so you cannot know if the cat is dead or alive. You can't know if the set is sealed. If it's sealed, you can't know if it's complete or incomplete. Did I say sealed before? Is incomplete or incomplete? So technically, even on Bricklink, I haven't checked the rules lately, but in the past, it was incorrect to list a set as sealed and complete. You could list it as sealed and new, but not sealed and complete. Complete is what you do with a used set because you can verify the contents, but you can't verify the contents of a sealed Lego set. So that is my Schrödinger's cat comparison to sealed Lego sets. Don't do it. Who are these experts? I don't trust them. You shouldn't trust them. And if you're one of those people and you're mad at me, I don't care. There's only like 10 of these listings on eBay anyway. I think people are finally catching on that it's dumb. Don't do it. Don't grade your Lego sets, especially the sealed ones. Maybe the minifigures, maybe, but just look at it with your own eyeballs and judge for yourself if you want to pay that much for something that's just a piece of plastic, man. I got a flat box now. Thank you to Vsauce for the shirt. I paid for it. I mean, I bought it when I got the Curiosity box. But yeah, it's another Vsauce shirt. Thought I'd wear a science shirt. All right, see you in the next video. Maybe it'll be another rant.